We had to wait one extra week for the English dub to make their adaptation to episode 39 for Dragon Ball Super, but the wait was well worth it. How is it going, everybody? So the English dub for Dragon Ball Super episode 39 just aired on Toonami, and honestly, this is the moment I have been waiting for the English dub to finally adapt and finally get to within Dragon Ball Super. It's taken 39 episodes, but we finally made it to that iconic moment, that final confrontation between Hit and Goku, and the transformation of Goku not only going Super Saiyan Blue, but also harnessing Kaio-Ken times 10. This moment is, I think, for most Dragon Ball fans, whether they watch the sub or are watching the dub, this is the first moment within Dragon Ball Super where it finally starts to feel like a really old Dragon Ball Z moment. You know, when you were a little kid, you know, watching it either on Toonami or whatever other network you used to watch Dragon Ball Z on, and there was those iconic moments, you know, when Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time, when Gohan went Super Saiyan 2 against Cell for the first time, Goku going Super Saiyan 3, the birth of Vegito. There's many iconic moments that you can take not only from Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball as well. But for Dragon Ball Super, there isn't really that many iconic moments that have led up to basically episode 39. You have the Super Saiyan God transformation, and you have the Super Saiyan Blue, but there's not really like an iconic moment that sticks out to many people. It's not until this episode, episode 39, where Goku finally unleashes his final technique that he's been saving for Lord Beerus, you know, to fight him on his level, using Super Saiyan Blue with a combination attack with Kaio-Ken times 10. The way that the art was done in that final section was absolutely amazing. The animation, absolutely amazing. And the moment when the music kicked in, when the intro song kicked in, when Goku and Hit were finally going at it during the final moments of this episode, it was just, you know, you stand up, you feel like a little kid again. I was just getting chills as this episode was going. And even though I knew that this moment was coming, getting to hear the English voice actors that I grew up, you know, listening to, Chris Sabat doing Vegeta, and especially Sean Schemmel doing the voice of Goku. And I remember, this was a long way back, because I remember, and I even looked on my Twitter, back in August, the ending of August, Sean Schemmel tweeted out that he did recordings for this episode about 2 months ago, that like his voice was shot, but he was so proud of the work that he did. And it shows in this episode. Just getting to hear Sean Schemmel doing the iconic Goku scream, the power-up yell, as he's going through, you know, times 2, times 4, up to times 10 Kaio-Ken. It was just so enjoyable to watch. Like, this episode, if you guys have not watched the English dub and are just watching the sub, definitely go back and just check out this episode dubbed, because this is just an iconic moment within Dragon Ball Super, and I absolutely loved it. This is like the first moment within Dragon Ball Super where it finally states like, yes, this is Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is back. So those are just my overall reactions right now to that episode. But I do want to talk about, you know, what went down in this episode, because I love the whole first part of this episode, because it is basically just Hit and Goku trying to, you know, feel themselves out. Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue right off the bat and is already predicting, you know, getting past Hit's time skip technique, where he's able to skip in time 1/10 of a second. He's able to land some punches and kicks on Hit, and this is making Hit very, very flustered, because he's never gone up against an opponent that has gotten the better of him like this before. And I love how throughout this entire episode, Hit is kind of treating Goku as a worthy opponent. He's allowing him to get better, because throughout this entire episode, not only does Goku continue to grow in strength, but so does Hit. And I really do like this, that it's kind of building up some camaraderie between Hit and Goku. But what I like about the beginning portions of this episode is it finally actually gives us a look at inside the time skip technique. We actually get to see Hit moving while time is frozen, and how he's able to, you know, get some hits on Goku. But in the beginning portions of this episode, we see that effect, you know, the shattered glass effect around the entire stadium. But as soon as Hit was about to go in and like try to land a hit on Goku, Goku was like, I ain't having that, ends up hitting him and actually predicting where Hit was going to be, and ends up up knocking him back. But what this ends up leading into is a very meta moment, I think, within, at least the dub portion of this episode. I don't know if the sub actually had this for dialogue, but the fact that they're actually poking fun at, when people in Dragon Ball power up, they yell a lot. And there's a moment to where Hit goes to power up and he's screaming, and Goku is just basically like, huh, so you're one of those people that screams when they power up as well. I really do like that moment, but the way Hit was doing it, and eventually Vados ends up, clarifying to Champa, is that Hit was only doing this for show. He can't power up like Vegeta, like Goku, like Frieza, like any normal person we've kind of seen within Dragon Ball. Hit doesn't get more powerful, he just improves his technique and skill. So, with Hit able to improve throughout the entire match he's fighting Goku, not only does he end up improving the time skip technique to 0.2 of a second, he ends up mastering it to a point to where he's able to skip half a second ahead. And this is an awesome effect within the episode where you actually see Hit, just landing multiple, I think at least 10 to 20 hits on Goku, and he ends up falling to the ground. The fact that he was able to actually, skip forward in time to about 5 times what he was normally able to do, he's able to get in that much more blows in on Goku. And at this moment, everyone is shocked. You have like Beerus, really like worried right now for Goku, and Champa and the rest of Universe 6 think that they're going to win the match. But of course, Goku has a trump card up his sleeve, and that's what leads into the iconic moment of this episode when he reveals to everyone, and to the dismay and to the disgruntled Vegeta, who is just so upset this entire time. And I love the narration of Vegeta throughout this entire episode, because he's got a few very good points as he's watching Goku go up against Hit, because not only did Goku have an advantage going in, having observed Hit's technique going into the match, but he's so upset that Goku was able to actually harness Super Saiyan Blue and Kaio-Ken at the same time, and he realizes in that moment, Kakarot has surpassed me once again. Absolutely amazing moments throughout this entire episode. We had great action, great art, great animation, and we also had some funny moments as well. Beerus, Champa, Whis, and Vados still continue to crack me up throughout this entire Universe 6 tournament arc, and just the dialogue alone from Whis and Beerus, when Beerus is looking at the Kaio-Ken times 10 added on to Super Saiyan Blue, and he's like, don't tell me Goku is going to be using that technique on me. And Whis is looking at him, it's like, it seems you're sweating, my lord. And then, Beerus is getting all flustered, like, me getting nervous on that? Please, don't be absurd. It was just so funny just to see Beerus looking at how much more power Goku has been able to harness ever since he's kind of met him during the beginning parts of this series, seeing the growth of Goku and just seeing him just harnessing the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10. Major props to Schemmel, like I stated at the beginning of this episode. But overall, this just entire moment of him just going Kaioken times 10, landing these amazing hits on Hit, and the fact that Hit could not see him where he was going, oh my god. So amazing. And that doesn't even bring up the fact, the music kicks in, and then the final moment when Goku just delivers that final Kamehameha, you have Hit blocking it, and of course the narrator basically letting us know that the next episode coming up is going to be the conclusion of the tournament arc. This is just an iconic Dragon Ball episode in general, and everyone, whether you're a sub watcher or a dub watcher, whether you are a new person getting introduced to Dragon Ball for the first time through Dragon Ball Super, or have been along with the series ever since it was on Toonami or when it first aired in Japan, wherever you may be, you guys know that this just gets added in to many of the iconic moments that have popped up throughout the history of the Dragon Ball franchise. I absolutely loved it. I loved the flashback that even got shown. Even though it was Kai, I still loved getting to see Vegeta bringing up the flashback of his first fight with Goku. Overall, this is most likely for me the best episode of Dragon Ball Super English dub thus far, but I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts, your take, your opinions on this episode in general. Did you guys enjoy the English dub adaptation for this episode? If you already know about the iconic moment, did you love getting to relive it once again with the English dub? But overall, just give me your overall reactions getting to witness that iconic moment of Goku going Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10. I'm so looking forward to see the ending of this arc. You know, next episode, we're gonna have episode 40, which will premiere next week. At least I'm hoping it's next week. Hopefully we don't have another repeat of last week where we had to wait an extra week. Hopefully that's not the case, but hopefully episode 40 comes out next week. And until then, I will be right here talking about it with you guys. So until episode 40 next weekend, I'll talk with you guys later. See you later, guys.